All right. I mentioned that, everybody's figured out it's a beautiful day out. If you haven't already gone down into Red Square, just south of here, and sort of past the end of Suzalo Library, the one that looks like a church, you will then look over Drumholler Fountain, and if there are no clouds, you will see Mount Rainier down at the end. So that's a classic nice view out towards the mountains. So make sure you do that if you don't do anything else. We'll be done after status reports. If you're local, maybe take some veggie trays home or something like that. And 2 tables and 6 of the tablet armchairs need to go in the room next door, so somebody might help me with those when the time comes. Any other announcements or logistics outside of status reports? Final survey, thank you, Susan. Final big survey, URL is there, and it is of course linked on the wiki. A draft of the algebra quick ref is up on the wiki, and the final will go into the official repository on the wiki of quick. Okay. Final is up on the quick, and I'll just point to that. I'll change the wiki to point.
There's
to that.
2 other resources up there too, right?
I put up a couple of XSLT books. There is also sort of, I think it's a peer-to-peer university, P2PU course that Kathy Fletcher is running, used to be with the Connections Project. That started June 1st or something like that. And there's only one sort of exercise up there. So if you're really interested, there's something you can do online with some other people that are really into manufacturing electronic books and things of that sort. Something else on the wiki?
The linear algebra article,
Yes.
is it Barry stuff? Or somebody else had some other stuff?
I don't remember.
Anyway, look at the resources section on the wiki. You'll find some other stuff.
Right. So accumulating a few links there, things that happened. Kenny, are we putting SD41 on tickets?
Yes, I am anyway.
Yes, I noticed that. So if you have worked on a ticket on track in the keyword field, if you would put SD41 there, as if you were part of the developer conference perhaps, and that will be good for the final report that somebody will need to generate for the funding for the notebook part.
I feel like there's not a lot of work that's been done on Sage track tickets.
I think you're right about that.
It's fine. It's notebook development. Yep.
You might well go through.
So GitHub issues. Oh, there's no keywords for that.
Well, I mean, you can just look at everything that happened over the interval. It's pretty much everyone is here. So.
Right.
All right, anything else then? Let's start with status reports over here. Will.
Let's see. I don't know. I haven't had the greatest day. My phone stopped working. It's not charging.
Notebook scalability.
Yeah, scalability. Needs to scale. All right.
Well, I learned a lot, and we had some productive meetings this afternoon.
So in the morning, I hung out in the breakout room over there, and we discussed various things about refactoring of notebook code. And I went to lunch, and after that, I've been mainly working on reviewing tickets. The documentation of the notebook development process on 12229 is finally positively reviewed, which is nice. Math checks is in, I think I mentioned that yesterday. Yeah, a couple other tickets as well, and now we also have a new ticket for 0.9.1 going into Sage eventually someday. So we're trying to coordinate all this stuff. Yep, that's about it.
I was sitting here next to Keshav reviewing his tickets and vice versa. That was very helpful. Yeah, so I just wrote a couple patches for Sage and reviewed a couple tickets. Nothing too exciting.
All right. Well, we finally finished this first version of a abstract algebra quick reference sheet and posted that. And I was working on using Sage to compute these things called higher order critical groups for simplicial complexes.
Right. I gave a talk this morning and had a wonderful vegan burger. It's very good. And then I'm planning to work on the materials that I have so that it's ready to be shared.
I had a good lunch too, and we've started working on the documentation on the WebWork wiki on how to embed Sage.
Mostly I've been continuing to work on converting a lot of the current hood worksheets into Sage format, and I feel like after a lot of the stuff I did yesterday, it's taking like 1/10 of the time per worksheet now.
I continued to work on WebWork and Sage stuff, and I was cleaning up a little bit so that I can continue doing it in the future.
Yes, I learned from this morning lectures, and also I got familiar with WebWork, and also I attended a discussion meeting with PIs, and I learned what I have to do for next fall. Thank you.
I learned a lot this morning, attended some useful meetings this afternoon, had a good lunch. David Perkinson did most of the work on the quick reference for abstract algebra, but I had a small part in it. And I managed to fix a few things in the abstract algebra textbook.
Had some good conversations about teaching, which were very helpful to me, so thanks everybody who I got to talk to about that. And just prep for teaching in the fall.
I learned why I should learn restructured text and XML. I got excited about the single cell Sage server and learned how and why I should use WebWork.
I worked with Kevin on permutation representations of semi-direct products this afternoon.
So I successfully and unsuccessfully incorporated Knowles in some course web pages that I was working on, and getting ready for the fall, and learned a lot about what works and doesn't work in a Sage-based classroom.
I gave my talk this morning and had a couple of good conversations that came out of that. I worked a little bit on my materials for linear algebra and incorporating Sage into them. Went to the test sites meeting this afternoon and had a couple, in particular, a good long conversation with Jane about teaching the Sage.
I tried to keep things organized today, keep the wiki up to date, gave a short talk on XML, skipped lunch. When I visited Korea, Shingu introduced me to the lovely drink soju, and he brought me a bottle of maple soju. Maybe I'll crack that open on the way home when I Is that real? It's good stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed the nice talks that really motivated me, and I appreciate for the organizers to have excellent experience. And also, I will try to adapt XML to my contents, and also I'm trying to make a WebWork efficiency in my school.
I had a really good lunch as well. I think that's important. Enjoyed. I was preparing for the talk this morning for WebWork, and it's kind of interesting when you prepare a talk to reflect back, but you almost never do that, about what you actually have gotten done and as a group. So that was kind of a good thing. Worked on some documentation issues so we can keep track of this stuff later.
Now we'll hit the back, so ask people to help us by.
The main thing I did today was I talked with Jason and Keshav about the IPython notebook and that as, or just the possibility of trying to use stuff from that because they have a much better and so since then I've been learning IPython and what that's all about.
I got indirect working in the IPython or Sage zone.
So that's like everything. Or almost. Awesome.
I've been reading IPython's code.
I worked on trying to implement a semi-direct product method in Sage, but didn't make that much progress.
I've been working with the new cell server, trying to make some of the documentation using Sphinx. That'll be useful.
This morning, Keshav helped me develop my understanding of Python briefly, and then I worked on a new view for the Interact database, and I looked at implementing Apache Solr, as suggested by Jun Kim yesterday.
Where are you? There you are.
I just want to thank everybody for doing the surveys this week. It's really important, both for our accountability to NSF, our funders. We really do use your data for all of our reports. And also, since we're hoping to do this again next year, we will take your feedback and make it next year even better.
Thanks everybody for coming this week, and thanks everybody for participating and being involved in all the activities. As you've heard, I think we're going to try and do it again, same place, same time of year. June 19th, 2021 would be the 3 days at the end of that week that is the break week again here at UW. So we're targeting that and try and get some funding lined up and do it again. So hope to see you all here next year. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.